Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a good day. I wanted to pop in here and I wanted to talk about fear. So I've seen a lot of posts in coming up on the feed and a lot of comments that are all surrounding fear of not actually starting your business or fear of starting but then not really taking all of the steps you need to in order to get to where you want to go. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about fear and how to move past it. And I have a couple of ideas of what works for me that I wanted to just recommend if it's helpful. Hopefully it will be helpful. So drop a comment. Let me know if this is helpful and if fear is something that's kind of really holding you back. Before we get started, I just think this is so funny. So, you see my background right now. It's my dining room. So I have my beautiful photo in the background that I had gotten from Bryant Park years ago. And then this is so mom life. Then if we move over here, there's a circus tent. So don't always believe what you see. And that's like sums up my day right there. Beauty over here and then a circus tent over here. So fear. Something that I learned, I probably like about a year ago, I learned about focus wheels, and I've brought it up a couple of times in this group, but I haven't brought it up in a while, and I think we should go back to it. So what is a focus wheel? So I made a little focus wheel for you. I'm going to bring it up really close for you. And it's basically you make all of these little circles. Okay. And so right here in the middle, you're going to put what your desire is. Okay. So that could be a personal, something personal. It could be you want to feel, really confident and self-assured. It could be a monetary goal that you have, like you want to make a certain amount in your business. Whatever it is, you can put your goal down. It could be, you could do one for personal, one for professional, whatever it is. But at any rate, you're going to put your desire in the middle. And so you're not there yet, right? We have so much work in order to get that from a personal standpoint. And so our broad beliefs, those are out there. And that's what's kind of holding us back, those broad beliefs from getting through all those circles into that desire. And so what you want to do is outside in these broad beliefs, and I have a screenshot that I will put in the comments of this video that has like an actual, it's an actual image. So you'll be able to use it. You can print it out if you want, but just to so that you can see visually right here. You're going to put what your broad beliefs are. So what are those fear-based limiting beliefs that you have? So it could be, you're not intelligent enough to start your own business. You are not business savvy. You don't know, you aren't tech savvy. And you think that, in order to be successful as a virtual assistant or something like that, you would need to be more tech savvy. Well, you're going to write down all of those things under your broad beliefs out here because it's not going in that circle. And what you're going to do is you're going to reframe that statement. So why do you feel that way? Why do you think that you're not tech savvy? Why is it that you don't think you're intelligent? Why is it that you don't think you have a good business sense? And when you really think about those things, and I'm not trying to get too deep here, but honestly, I think you do have to get really deep in order to move past your fears. And it really comes down to like, what led you to those beliefs about yourself? Was it something from your childhood? Was somebody always saying something to you where you didn't think you were creative? You were never good at those kinds of areas, and now that's kind of stuck in your head. Was it something that you told yourself when you got older? Was it a problem that you had in school and you just kind of never moved past it? Like, what is it? And then you're going to debunk that. Like, it's not true. Anyone can learn anything. We're not trying to do heart surgery here. I don't care what you're trying to do in your business, whether you are a virtual assistant, a social media manager, a designer, whatever it is. We're not doing heart surgery here, people. Like, you are an intelligent woman and you can learn anything that you put your mind to. There's a million different free videos out there. We can learn stuff, okay? So you're gonna reframe those broad beliefs. And so now you're like, okay, great. I reframe those broad beliefs, but I still don't believe I can actually get to that desire, right? I don't believe that I can make, and I'm just throwing this number out there, 5K a month, right? I don't believe that I'd be able to do that, especially with the skills that I have. Well, no, you're not at that point emotionally where your head and your heart actually believe that. So what you're going to do is multiple times a week, every day, whatever your routine is, you're going to work this in. And so on this outer circle, you're going to start writing things down that you actually believe about yourself. Okay. And it could be really really simple things like, I'm a really good listener. Okay. I'm going to write that down. I'm a good listener. I'm really good at communication. I'm really good at being organized, okay? So I won't keep going, but now I have all of those different things. And so every single day or multiple times a week, when you take a couple of minutes just to focus on your mindset, you're going to start telling yourself those things, that you're great at communication. You have excellent organization skills. You're a really good listener. And you know what? Those things everyone doesn't have. Whatever it is you're writing down, everyone doesn't have it. And you might think to yourself, oh yeah, but it's not a big deal, right? But no, it is a big deal. It's a huge deal. Hey, Rebecca. It's a huge deal. Not everyone is great at, let's say, communication. Not everyone is really organized. Not everyone is, whatever it is. And if you're really having a hard time writing down anything about yourself, ask your best friend, ask your mom, ask your spouse, because I guarantee they are going to be able to come up with really amazing things about you. And so you're going to start out here. And then after a while, once you start telling yourself all those great affirmations about yourself constantly, you're going to say, oh, you know what? I am really great at those things. And those things are really important. So let me get a little bit deeper. Let me go on to this next layer inside that circle. So now we're getting closer to that desire, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth. Okay, I said I was really good at communication. So maybe let's go a little bit deeper with that and say I would be able to be an excellent person that worked in public relations, and I can go into how I'm a really good writer, and I can write pitches really well. And so now I start getting more specific, and I start getting closer and closer to that desire, and you continue telling yourself those things until you actually start believing it. So that is one method, is a focus wheel. And again, I will put the screenshot of what a focus wheel looks like. So if you want to use it, you can print it out, and you're more than welcome to use that. Another thing outside of a focus wheel is doing what brings you joy. And I know that sounds so like woo-woo, it's very simple, but if you're in a bad mood every day, if you're just like in a negative place, nothing good is going to come your way, and you're not going to be able to see anything good either. So like, let me give you an example. If you look around my room right now, and you say, okay, pick out all the green things. Or if you look in your room, look around your room and pick out all the green things in your room, okay, and count them. And now you're going to take a minute. You're going to count them. Maybe there's 3 things, 4 things, whatever, okay? Now, if I asked you, well, how many red things are there? You would have no idea, right? You have no clue how many red things are because you were just so focused on looking for green things, right? And so it's the same thing with like negativity and positivity. If you are just so focused on the bills that you have to pay and, getting to the next step in life and whatever it is, you can't see anything else. You have blinders on and you're not going to see any of the other colors, any of the other opportunities. You're not going to talk to people that maybe you should be talking to because you're just not even going to be in that headspace. So really doing things that brings you joy. And I know that as a mom, hearing that, you tend to be like, okay, great. But like my week is so incredibly busy. I'm trying to deal with the kids. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to do all of these things. Where do I fit in this joy, right? And we tend to think to ourselves, I think, of what our previous life was like without children. And I don't mean this to sound in a negative or bad way, because we all love our kids. But before, we would be able to, take time for ourselves and focus on us. But now we are not able to do that. We don't have any alone time ever. And so for myself, you have to really like sit down and look at, okay, what is it that makes me happy in my day, right? And so things that make me happy personally is I feel happy when I am taking care of myself physically. I feel good. I'm happier. My health is better. And so things that like I do recently, like I've become really bad at drinking water. I used to be wonderful before kids, and I was wonderful when I was nursing Grace. Hey, Candace. But I don't know, lately I'm just awful at drinking water. And I know drinking water, like it's such a simple thing. Drinking water, especially with lemon, makes me feel really good. It makes me feel more energized. But I don't do it. And so lately I've been actually taking a glass and putting it out for myself at night. So in the morning, I remember to start drinking my water. So little things like that. I also looked at my week and even with all the hustle and bustle, like what is it that I actually enjoy doing? And like something that I really enjoy doing is being outside with Grace. Like I absolutely love being outside with Grace and doing like fun nature adventures and having the dog around and doing things like that. And also having my husband be there too. I forgot to mention him. So now, especially it's so much easier now because the weather is getting nicer. So now I try to be more present when I'm outside. So instead of thinking about work, instead of thinking about all the things that I'm doing, you're actually enjoying the sunshine. You're actually listening to the birds chirping. You're enjoying the little things. And when you're enjoying all of those little things, you're just happier. It doesn't have to be like you have a spa weekend and you're spending all this time and money. It can be such little things. And when you're actually enjoying all of those things, you just have a different vibe and things start coming to you and you see things differently. So definitely do things that will raise your vibe. You don't have to spend money. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but do things. Another thing that I recently started doing is every morning, like when I'm getting ready, because again, like I don't have time, like I don't have like an hour to just like meditate to myself. Like, no. So instead, I will listen to an inspiring podcast or like a YouTube video, like certain people that I follow on YouTube that I like really like and I find inspiring. I'll just listen to that as I'm getting dressed or as I'm getting ready, or if there's something that I'm doing for work that doesn't take like a lot of like mental capacity where I'm actually like writing things and I just have to do like more manual things, I'll put on a podcast or something. So I'm actually like enjoying, I feel like I'm getting my personal development, which is something that's really important to me. I feel like I'm getting my professional development, which is something that's really important to me. And when I'm feeling good things happen. right? I'm a better mom. I'm a better wife. I'm a better business person. I'm a better freelancer. I'm just better in general. And so you really have to focus on what brings you joy. Another thing, in order to move past the fear, so number 3 we're on, is light a fire under you. So I know that when you're first starting out, you tend to tell yourself, all those limiting beliefs about like why you can't do something, right? And trust me, I was there. But honestly, the only reason why I personally have been successful and was able to create a business and leave my old job and replace my income and all of that stuff, it was not because of my skills. It was not because I'm more savvy. It's not because I had better connections to people. It's not any of those things. It is 100% because I had a fire lit under me, because I am not the most confident person. I am the person that will, in anything, whether it's personal or professional, I will definitely get skittish and kind of shy away and think, oh, that person's definitely, got more to them than I do. And it was only because I think my health issues that had gotten so bad, and things in general were so dark and so bad, that there was no continuing on. And that was the fire that was lit under me of, this has to change. Like, something has to change. I have to make this work. There is no other option. And I think even if you don't have that fire, if you're not in that dark place, if you're not in that situation, you have to create a fire. You have to create a mental fire where you are saying, this is happening. This is what I'm doing. There's no going back. There's no other options. I'm doing this, and just continuing to move forward. And then lastly, number 4 for moving past fear is focusing on smaller goals. So your long-term goal, your year-end goal, let's go back to that financial number again. Let's say you want to make 4 or 5K a month, whatever it is, okay? Everybody's goals are completely different, but let's just use the numbers because that makes it easiest. Your goal is to make 5K per month, okay? But you're just starting out, you have no clients, or maybe you finally, you've landed your first client, you're making, not even $1,000 a month. That 5K seems so far away, right? So far away. And if you are focusing on that every single day, like 5K, 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 nowhere near 5K, you're not going to get there, because you're going to crumble with fear and overwhelm. Like, no, everyone would crumble with fear and overwhelm, right? So that's why you have to break it down into those smaller, either quarterly or monthly goals, so that you can achieve. And when you're breaking it down into those small segments, then when those small, tiny little goals actually happen for you, then you're giving yourself a pat on your back, and you're like, oh my goodness, like, this particular client that I landed wants to expand my role and is, we're increasing their package. This is huge for me. Are you at your 5K mark? No, but this is huge. Like, that means you probably have to take on less clients in the future. That means you're amazing at what you're doing. And you're giving yourself that positive feedback. And you're also seeing like what's working, what's not working, so that you can continue going down the right path. So those are my top 4 recommendations for moving past fear. I'd love to hear if you have any recommendations for moving past fear. And I will be posting this. Like brain dead, and it's only 2:10 p.m. I'm going to be posting our focus wheel, a picture of it, so that you can actually take it for yourself and either download it or print it out and use it. So I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear if you have recommendations, and I'd love to hear if you have any questions too. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.